Good morning, everybody. This is Tyler's Talking Sports. If this is your first time tuning in, we're so glad to have you here. My name is Tyler Hess. On the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Castle. You'll meet him in a few minutes, and I think you'll like him. If this is your first time tuning in, you got to know what you're listening to. Here at Tyler's Talking Sports, we cover college football, we cover college basketball, we cover college baseball. You name it in the college world, we're talking about it. From breaking news to big games to new coaching hires to kids entering the transfer portal, we cover it all. So, if you love what you're listening to and you love this episode, be sure to find us on all major podcasting platforms. Find us on social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Be sure to give us a follow and a like there. We're also on YouTube and TikTok, but on YouTube, be sure to give us a subscribe, because when you do, that allows you to get exclusive content that nobody else gets that's not subscribed to us. When you subscribe to us on YouTube, you get exclusive access to our 10-minute episodes that we drop weekly throughout the week. Plus, our 2 episodes we drop every Monday and Thursday at 6 a.m. You're not going to want to miss any of the content we have, and we appreciate you guys being here, and we hope you enjoy the episode.
This episode is brought to you by Next Level Fitness Club in Lebanon, Virginia. 1806 East Main Street, Lebanon, Virginia, 24266. They are a 24/7 gym facility, 24/7 tanning. They also offer certified personal training and certified functional fitness classes to fit all needs. If you're in the market for a gym membership, this is a great place to hit up. Hit up Ethan, Tyler, or Jordan at any of their numbers, and check out their website at www.nextlevelfitnessclub276.com.
This episode is brought to you by Little's Lawn Care. Little's Lawn Care is the all-you-need lawn care people. You need your yard mowed, you need your leaves blowed out of your yard, you need your gutters cleaned out, contact Little's Lawn Care at 276-698-5104. Again, that number is 276-698-5104. You can text them and you can call him. His name is Brandon Little. He's an incredible person, and be sure you let him know that Tyler sent you.
And we're live, Season 3, Episode number 10, Buzzer Beaters and Home Runs. Happy Monday morning. If it's your first time tuning in, this is Tyler's Talking Sports. On the other side of the mic, my brother from another mother, Tyler Hess, and myself, Tyler Castle, bringing you Tyler's Talking Sports. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you. Hopefully, everyone's had a good weekend. Hess, have you had a good weekend?
Not been bad, man. Not been bad. Had a little birthday party to go to yesterday, Braxton, for one of his buddies. Had baseball this past week, started that up, Blakely with T-ball. Little practices here and there. Had the time change, so everybody make sure you set them clocks. Lost
Really?
that hour of sleep, but hey, you gain an hour, guys. You get an extra hour of daylight. I mean, you can go out, you can golf, you can wash your car, you can mowing season's right around the corner. Get your fertilizer, get your nitrogen, get all that stuff, get their yards ready. Fun times.
Little's Lawn Care be ready to cut it.
Yeah, Little's Lawn Care. Those guys are ready. They're itching to mow some yards. Shout out to one of our loyal listeners, Lee Whitworth. He mowed his yard for the first time yesterday. I seen that on his Facebook. Already got the first cut in.
Gosh.
He's already planning on. He's deciding if he should put down fertilizer or not, because if he puts down fertilizer, it's going to cut back on his fishing because he's going to have to mow more. So, big debacle there. I understand that.
That's a tough debate. I mean,
yep.
I love a good set of grass, but, I like fish too. So
that was extremely early to mow, but hey, Lee's a man of the people.
Well, he's a little bit farther south, so
he is.
Maybe a little bit warmer weather than we've been having. So
might be
growing.
Yeah. So
we're probably, the way our weather's been, we're probably like 2 weeks out still.
Yeah, maybe. If not more.
Yeah. Maybe like 1st of April. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And then you got a dog fence we got to put in.
Yeah, when are we going to do that? Let's just plan that right now. When are we going to do that?
Let's see.
We're supposed to do it this weekend, but it was also 40 degrees yesterday.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
The ground was too hard.
Well, we got some good rain coming 14th, 15th, 16th.
I'll be gone.
So,
and
I know.
Speaking, since you brought up the date, I want to catch this early. That way we have our listeners here, because I know some of y'all don't listen to the whole episode, which is fine. As long as you stop by, we appreciate it. Tune in 3/16, not John 3:16, but this coming Sunday.
Yes.
3/16 at 5:45 p.m. To review the Tyler's Talking Sports March Madness bracket.
Yes.
I ordered a bracket yesterday. It should be here by Wednesday or Thursday this coming week.
Awesome.
It's a blank bracket. It's got the NCAA bracket or whatever, all the teams. And then Hess and I will fill in and be going through live our picks. We'll be watching, who's getting the seeds, what's the seeding rankings. And then Hess and I will be deep diving into it. And probably quite a few disagreements, I'm sure, are coming.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune into that. It's going to be electric, something new, something. First time we've done this, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be real fun.
Might even dress up a little bit for this.
Yeah, we have to sign a agreement with each other that our arguments won't affect our friendship beforehand because I feel like...
I'll draft a waiver if you want me to.
Yeah, we need to draft that up just so...
I'll draft one.
But yeah, guys, 16th, that's going to be great. Be sure to tune in there. But as far as this dog fence goes...
Yeah.
Let's look to do it the 22nd.
Maybe. I might be going out to eat with my parents because that's right after my birthday.
My birthday, which is the 19th.
You touching the... I don't know what my plans are right through there, so that's a maybe from me.
All right, I'll shoot for the 29th.
If you need me. 29th, I'll be in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. Yeah.
April 5th is opening day for Little League.
Just keep going through days. April 5th, I'll probably be good. But
might be able to do it that evening.
Okay.
But
I'm not trying to keep pushing out on you. I mean, I can come up one evening if you want to start on it.
We'll see.
Like
if
you get off
evenings.
Yeah, if
got
you get
first
off
golf appearance.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like throughout the week.
Well, we do have that extra hour of daylight, so if I go, if I still have it.
See?
So.
It comes in handy, Hess. I'm telling you, this time change, you will adjust. By the way, guys, let us know your comments, or maybe we'll do a poll on this. Do you like the daylight savings time? Like, which one do you like? I saw where the president was actually looking to just pick one and leave it alone.
Well, see, I just like loathing in my depression, so that's why I like.
I don't.
Yeah,
I have to have that, sunshine, get outside.
When I'm home alone, like when the kids are like gone somewhere and Chris is on a work trip or something, I don't turn a single light on in this entire house. It never turns on. I just loathe in the dark.
Saving the power.
Oh yeah,
truly, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, but I literally just sulk in my depressions and just
it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
Man, right, you should do some. Well, it's just making me think of this. You should do some grounding outside. Take your socks off and go outside and stay in the grass. Feel much better. Do some grounding. Nature. It's good for you.
Yeah. So we're going to move the dog fence to the month of April.
He can't go outside in his yard and do grounding, guys, because he's going to step in dog crap until we get that fence up.
Well, what's happening here, guys? Let me tell you. I had a dog fence.
Had the whole yard covered. Off topic, but this is all right.
Had the whole yard covered. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know what happened, if the wire got tore up at some point, a gopher or something got a hold of the wire in the ground and chopped it up, whatever. So then I went to go put in another fence a while back, and I just wasn't able to get it done exactly right because I didn't have much help. I had, at the time, an 8-year-old helping me. So we bought one that just does a circle. Like it's like a transmitter, it does a circle.
Yeah.
And the way my house is with my heel and everything, it don't transmit right. And they can only go like so far in the yard. They have a whole nother like half an acre they could be in if they wanted to. So they're wiring out this front part up here. It's like turned into a dirt track up here.
Can't have that.
Yeah, so we're going to have to spread them out and get my yard back. Got a lot of grass seed and fertilizer to throw down, which I am throwing fertilizer down because
Hess likes a good green yard.
Yeah, I have to. It's in my blood.
Yeah. I don't know. Does Little's Lawn Care do any fertilizing?
I don't know. I might have to get him to come up here and spread some seeds and stuff.
I was going to say, if not, Dalton Gilbert does some fertilizing. If
competition.
Well, it's all right. I mean, Dalton's in my neighborhood. I don't think he'll care. He'll care. So he's in my neighborhood here in Lebanon. So if anybody needs that too, he's doing some fertilizing. Thought about hollering at him.
Well, Brandon, when you listen, let me know if you are good at spreading fertilizer or grass seed. If you are, you can do that while I'm at work one day, and I don't have to worry about coming home and doing it. I'll pay you good.
There you go. We'll take a video of it and put it on the podcast.
Yeah. We'll take a video. Put it on.
Maybe do it live.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
I'll show up and just start interviewing them.
Yeah, there you go. Little Lawn Care. How's it feel to be spreading grass seed fertilizer?
How's the fertilizer looking? How's the fertilizer looking?
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move that dog fence in April, possibly.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We got way off topic there.
Yeah.
It happens.
We got our first golf outing. Coming up.
Yes, got our first golf outing coming up tomorrow, Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday the 4th.
Yep, so going out tomorrow evening after work. Yep. So looking forward to that. Got that extra hour of daylight, so we can get 9 in easy. It's going to be rough.
Yeah.
It's going to be
great.
rough.
It's going to be
I
fun.
bought golf balls. I did buy
Yep.
some golf balls.
What kinds you get?
TaylorMade Speedsoft. Shout out to Jacob Compton. No free shout out, but that is a great ball.
Well, see, here's my thing with the ball.
Here we go.
Here's the thing with the ball.
Here we go.
I've heard that it really doesn't matter, the ball. Because we've heard that if you watch TGL guys, the pros, especially Colin Morikawa, and Roy agreed with him, they use a knockoff Kirkland ball, but they get their sponsor stamped on the ball.
But
so
here's
it
the thing.
has Titleist. Because Roy said the dimples on the cheap balls are better than the dimples on the other balls.
Probably.
Roy,
I mean,
let
maybe.
me tell you,
He probably know.
I like a good dimple.
Face dimples.
Yeah.
That's
Lower
what I'm
back dimples.
Yeah, got you. I got you, man.
Yeah.
Dimples.
Butt dimples.
What I was going to say to that is,
Cheek dimples.
the thing is, like I told you, it really don't matter. But if you,
You know
play, fellow golfers out there, tell Hess this, okay? If you play with the same ball all the time, you will get better with that ball. I promise.
I think it's a mental thing.
Well, it's the spin rate.
Okay, what if I get your TaylorMade Speed Sauce?
You might hit them
hold on.
terrible.
No, hold on. What if I get some alcohol wipes and I wipe everything off of it, and then do the same thing with my other ball, and then switch yours? Would you know a difference off the tee?
No, because I don't play enough.
Yes, you do.
Now, if I played every day, I would.
Also, guys, one more thing before we get kicked off here. I am trying to push Castle in the next 5 to 10 years to pursue his opportunity to at least make the U.S. Open.
Nah, not going to happen, guys.
5 to 10 years, it's
not
going to happen.
I got too much business to run.
He doesn't. He doesn't, guys. So here's the thing. Castle says he don't have enough time.
I don't.
But nobody knows what time really is.
I just got an extra hour. I don't know
Yeah,
why. I got an extra hour today, actually. This is Sunday. Y'all know we record on Sunday, so I got an extra hour. Maybe I'll go practice for that extra hour.
Well, here's my thing. If there is this one less hour, Castle will make sure he fills up every hour. So he always just fills up every hour he has available. So that's why I like this other old time better, because I get more time with him personally.
It's true. I'm a busy guy.
He's a busy guy by choice.
I like it, though. That's the way I like to live.
He likes it, and it keeps him sane.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just happy.
Objectives, baby. Always self-improving. Always working.
Well, guys, that's TTS, self-improvement
That's TTS.
talk.
Speaking of TTS, we have a correspondent that is going to be at the ACC tourney this coming Saturday. Jacob Compton will be in Charlotte, I think, right? Yeah, Charlotte, to watch the ACC championship. He's projecting Duke to be there. He's a huge Duke fan, as y'all know. We'll see. I told him it'd be hilarious if Duke don't make it.
That would be great.
That'd be funny. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Duke will be there. I think that's a safe bet.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go out on a limb and say
lose.
Duke misses and loses in the semifinal.
Oh, gosh. Well, there's a very good chance it could be Duke and UNC. Very solid
Speaking
chance.
of Duke UNC.
You ready to start?
Yeah, speaking of Duke and UNC.
Let's roll into it, man. We 10 minutes in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Past week's basketball recap.
Yes.
Hold up.
Oh,
I didn't hit no transition last week. I got to do one this week.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Duke UNC, guys, probably the greatest rivalry in sports right here, the Tobacco Road rivalry. This game was played in Chapel Hill. Duke came in, a lot of momentum on their side, a lot to prove. North Carolina trying to prove they deserve to be in the tournament. And North Carolina just fell a little short. Knipple and Flagg helped number 2 Duke pull away late to beat rival UNC 82-69. Freshman Knipple, he scored 17 points. And Duke ended up winning this game 82-69 Saturday night and clinched the outright Atlantic Coast Conference regular season title. The score is a little bit inflated based off how really close that game was. Like I said, Duke did pull away down the stretch. North Carolina's been playing great basketball. Surprisingly, I think
They've won 6 straight.
Yeah, they had won 6 straight, and they're 20-12. Last I seen, for any of those Tar Heel fans out there, they are first 4 out is what I had seen, but that was Friday. So maybe this game and then whatever happens in the ACC tournament and other things happen. I say North Carolina's got a good shot to make it if they can at least make it into probably the second or third round of the ACC tournament, and depending on what else happens. Duke, I think this is something that, especially you were talking about it in the last episode. Some competition here. Wasn't a big blowout win. I mean, it was a 13-point win, but again, it was a lot closer than that. It just the last little bit of the game, Duke kind of got a little bit of advantage. Big thing here I like seeing is, Knipple stepping up and scoring 17 points. Again, not seeing Cooper Flagg being the main guy. I mean, Cooper's going to do his thing and facilitate most of these points anyway, because the way you look at it, most teams they're focusing in on Flagg and making him facilitate to other people, and Duke's starting to find these kids that are stepping up outside.
Well, they've been finding.
Yeah, and they have.
Past 6-7 games.
But that's what you want to see, though.
Flagg hasn't been the leading scorer.
Yeah, and that's.
I mean, you have a different leading scorer almost every game, which is
great. If I'm a Duke fan, I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. This is what I want to see. This team's great. If I'm a opposing team playing Duke, I'm scared to death. Yeah,
I agree. This was the type of game that I was talking about last week that Duke needed. They found a way to pull away because this game was like a 3-point game until 6 minutes, and then they went on a 12-0 run. That run was really initiated by Monk, their center. Played great in that little stretch. I mean, he hit 2 3-pointers, played great on defense, good transition D. So, yeah, that's really where Duke secured that game and took off, and UNC just ran out of gas and couldn't keep up there in the last 6 minutes. But they hung with them all the way until that point. So, like you said, that score was a little bit inflated. But this is exactly what I wanted to see out of Duke. I wanted to see them close out a game. Because this was the first tough game they've had since Clemson, in my opinion. And, the ACC tournament is getting ready to start. They've only lost one ACC game this year. Mm-hmm. So that's very impressive. 28-3 on the season. Excellent season. I mean, this is the Duke we expected at the beginning of the season, and they're shining just like they should. And like you said, if I'm an opposing team, I do not want to play Duke in the tourney, and I do not want to play him in March Madness.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to shout out here RJ Davis. He had 20 points for Duke with 7-15 from the field. But a big thing happened this past week. RJ Davis became the third all-time leading scorer in ACC history. I feel like that's been very quiet. Not a lot of people's talked about that, but RJ now is in sole possession of third place in ACC history all-time in scoring. He surpassed Johnny Dawkins. He only trails UNC great Tyler Hansbrough and Duke great J.J. Redick for all-time scoring in the ACC.
Wow.
So shout out to RJ Davis.
That's a big number, or big names right there.
Yeah. So I think that gave him his
Hansbrough was, monster. Never forget
Hansbrough
that busted nose game.
Yep. He had Tyler Hansbrough had 2,872 points, and I think RJ Davis is at, let me see here where he's at. He ain't going to catch JJ and them, but this is his fifth year.
How many Redick have? They have close to 3,000?
That's what I'm going to pull up here if I can find the list.
He was unreal.
Let me see. I had it.
He had to be up there as well. I guarantee it's close to 3,000.
JJ was second. Hansbrough's
okay,
first
so
all time,
2,800. So I say he's close. I say he's not far behind.
Let's see. RJ Davis has 2,620.
Right, so
JJ's 2,700.
Okay, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
wow.
But yeah, RJ Davis. Didn't really think about that. He's been very quiet, but this is his 5th year there at UNC. So go figure. I mean, Hansbrough did it in 4 years.
He's their best player.
Redick did it in 4 years. But yeah, RJ Davis, congrats on that huge accomplishment. We know what we feel about Duke. How do you feel about this North Carolina team?
I feel pretty good. I mean, they won 6 straight before this. Duke had won 7. Like I said, they hung with Duke all the way until 6 minutes to go. So they hung with them for, 74 minutes. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's pretty solid. Sorry, I can't do math.
Yeah,
2020 is 40.
Yeah.
34
more minutes.
Sorry. Shoot, I was doing 40-minute halves.
Yeah.
But yeah. They hung with them 34 minutes, so
yeah,
that was pretty good. The defense just fell apart there at the end. They looked gassed. That's where Duke does so well. Off their bench, it's just like rotating 5. That's where you see these elite teams separate from good teams.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Duke's at. But as far as UNC, they can make a run in the conference. I think this team could be tough to play in March because they turned their season around here in the second half of the season. Because they were, if y'all remember, they were like 10-10. Or something like 10-9, something like that, and they're finishing 20-12. So I mean, they've really turned their season around.
Absolutely.
And at least gave themselves an opportunity to potentially make the tourney.
Well,
So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the ACC tourney. I don't want to get too far ahead, and of course, if they do make it, we're doing our picks next weekend. But yeah, I'd keep an eye on North Carolina. They looked pretty good. I mean, first half it was 43-42.
Here's my thing too, and I'm going to say this, and it may catch a little flack. You said it. North Carolina was what 10-9, 10-10 at that one
Something
point.
like that. They were close to 500, or maybe even below 500. I mean,
and that was at the beginning
right
of the beginning of ACC play, and we were talking about North Carolina just being really bad, being off, and now they've ran on this streak. Does this show that the ACC is just really top heavy?
I think so. I mean, I've said this all year. I think the ACC's got now 2 solid teams, really solid, and that's Clemson and Duke.
Yeah,
and everybody else is just kind of
got Louisville there too.
Nah, I'm not. I mean, I was high on Louisville there for a little while, but I'm not too high on them now. Are they still ranked? I don't even know.
Yeah,
if they're
I think they're 15th or something. They moved up.
Okay. Well, they're okay. In my book, they're 3rd in the ACC. Then, yeah, look that up. See where they're at now, because they've lost some games they shouldn't have.
They're 25-6. They've won 9 straight.
9 straight. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I didn't realize they had that good of a streak. They lost a couple there, right when I called them out, so I got off the bandwagon.
You got SMU sitting there too. They've been sneaky, 22-9.
Yeah.
And then Wake Forest 21-10.
I still think it's Duke Clemson at the top. I mean, I think that's your 2, and then you could put Louisville, SMU. You could put them down below as good teams. Yeah. I'd put UNC in that category too now.
So if that's the case, if you say UNC, that right now you'd be looking at.
I think the ACC championship is going to be Clemson and Duke. I really do. If it falls right,
I think it'll be Louisville. I like Louisville.
Okay.
I like their defense, but right now that will give if North Carolina makes the tournament, let's just say, and that would give ACC 5 or 6 teams, depending on if you take both Wake Forest and UNC, because they're both right there. 5.
We did. We looked this up. How many ACC champions? There's been a lot of ACC champions, right?
Has
in the past 10 years.
Yeah, I mean the SEC hasn't won national title. Yeah, UConn, Louisville,
North Carolina, Louisville,
Virginia.
Duke. Yep, Virginia. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't count the ACC out. They're the best. Technically, still the best. I mean, based off the championships, they're the best conference in basketball still. They're still a basketball championship school.
Yeah.
So, this year everybody's been high on the SEC, but we've said it. I do not see SEC maybe getting 2 teams all the way to the Elite 8, maybe.
Right.
Because SEC's been so streaky. We'll see.
Speaking of the SEC, we had a big game, real big game.
Huge game.
Another big rivalry.
Yes,
a lot of people might say this one's is this called the Iron Bowl still when it's in basketball?
I don't know what it's called now. I know, Iron Bowl in football, but
let's call it the Iron Bowl.
Iron Bowl here, okay.
The Iron Bowl.
You had Alabama traveling to Auburn.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, on the road, this game did go into overtime. They were tied at the end of regulation. Alabama ends up squeaking by in this one, 93-91, improvement to 24-7. Auburn loses its last 2 of the season. Falling to 27-4. So I do think final rankings will come out tomorrow for the regular season. I do think you'll see Duke as number 1. They'll finish the season as regular season. Yeah, the top seed. I think they'll get the top seed too. Honestly.
They are the SEC tournament number 1 seed is. I got it right here.
It's Auburn.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. It is Auburn is your 1 in the SEC tournament, and then you're looking.
I'm saying overall in March Madness, it'll be Duke will be your number 1.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as far as the SEC tournament goes, the number 1 seed is Auburn, number 2 is Florida, number 3 is Alabama, and number 4 is Tennessee.
That's fair.
Those teams will play March 24th in the quarterfinals, so they don't have to play. The SEC tournament starts the 12th, so they don't have to play for 2 days.
March 14th is what you meant. Gotcha.
Yeah, March 14th, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Mark Sears hit the floater at overtime to send that one, or send Auburn home, I guess, rather.
Yeah.
To win 93-91. Pretty crazy how he hit that shot. And I said this, too, when we was talking yesterday. I felt like it was Alabama's time to win a game like this. They just lost to Florida. Pretty tight contested game, lost by 5 or 6. They lost to Tennessee on a buzzer beater, a couple days before that. So it was time for them to pull out a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
And they did it. So this is what I'm getting at with the SEC. I don't know. We look at Alabama one week and we're like, man, nobody can touch them. And then they lose to Tennessee or they lose to Florida, and you're like, well, maybe they're not as good as we thought, and then they beat Auburn.
Right.
So I don't know, guys. This bracket, honestly, I'm thinking since we've kept up with it so well this year, this is probably going to be the toughest bracket I've ever done.
Well, yeah, I mean, we know a lot about it. We got a lot of information on a lot of these teams.
That's what sucks. It's good and bad.
I want to say this, and I think I've said this all year. Me personally, I think Alabama's your second best team in the country.
They got the offense. I mean, they definitely have the offense, and they're not bad on defense, obviously.
They beat Auburn with Johnny Broome scoring 34 points.
Yeah. Johnny Broome dropped 34, 15 to 28 shooting. Grant Nelson was the leading scorer for Alabama, 23 points, 8 to 15 shooting. Of course, Mark Sears is their guy. When he's hot and going, that team is really, really successful. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what you're going to come down to in the tourney is, your elite players, are they going to be able to take over the game?
Yeah.
You got one on each major, top 10 school pretty much. Mm-hmm. Can those guys who's going to show up in tourney time to really, project their team to the Michael Jordan style and take over the game?
I found another fun fact here just because Bruce Pearl's here and we kind of touched base a little bit on Tennessee there just a minute. In the 9 seasons that Rick Barnes has been at Tennessee, they have advanced out of the first day or the first 2 days of the tournament 9 times. Since Bruce Pearl has been at Auburn, he's only advanced out of the second day 1 time. So Bruce Pearl's got a lot of pressure on him. This Auburn team's good.
It's very good.
They should make a deep run in the tournament, but there's a lot of pressure on Bruce Pearl to get past those first 2 days, get into that round of 16.
Yep.
So just keep that in the back of your head, Auburn fans. Auburn has been here before. They've been a top team, and they've had trouble getting to that Sweet 16. So if I'm an Auburn fan, if we get to the Sweet 16, we'll be happy.
First game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I do think when it's all said and done, I think if Auburn makes it to the SEC championship, I think they'll be the number one overall seed just based off how the rankings are in the SEC. Even if Duke wins the ACC, I just think Auburn will have that because they're going to have to go through. I mean, just looking at
technically, if they do win that, I guess. I mean, you can go back to regular season. Auburn beat Duke by 2.
But that was early, so I'm not really going to.
I'm just saying, if they're looking at wins, maybe.
Well, just based off how the rankings.
I still think personally, if Duke wins the ACC tourney, they should be number 1 overall. I really do. I think they're better.
I think if Auburn wins SEC and Duke wins the ACC, Auburn will be your number 1 overall seed. But it's because you got South Carolina playing Arkansas, and then that winner plays Ole Miss, and then that game will play Auburn. And then if Auburn wins and Tennessee wins their quarterfinal matchup, they play each other in the semifinal. So if Auburn wins that game, they either play Florida or Alabama, if that's the teams that go. And then they had to play Florida, Alabama in the SEC championship. Now, granted,
that's the thing too. What if we're talking about the SEC and Hess and I, y'all know we get SEC bias all the time because we love the SEC. But in basketball, it's a little different because we're more spread. I mean, we love our teams, don't get me wrong, but it is what it is. But let's say the SEC is really not as good as we think.
Yeah.
And they've been playing top teams, which I do personally. After watching these games, I do think the SEC is that good. But again, I do not think I don't think there'll be more than 2 make it to the lead.
One thing before we move on to the next game, as far as the SEC tournament goes, watch the bottom half of this bracket, guys.
Yep.
And I'm not going to say this. People are going to give me a hard time because we're talking about my dogs here. But they play Oklahoma.
Dogs been kind of hot.
They play Oklahoma. They're the 11th seed in the tournament. They play Oklahoma on March 12th. If they win that game, they play Kentucky. They beat Kentucky. Kentucky's been streaky. Mm-hmm. And then they go to then they play Alabama if they win that game, and they beat Alabama. So,
but y'all lost Alabama too, right?
Yep.
You beat them and lost, but you lost by 30.
Here's my thing: if Georgia makes a run there, they could be the team. Them and just the team in the back half. I look at Vanderbilt.
Yes,
there's another team in that first day. Those 2 teams, if they could be the ones that can make a mess of this SEC tournament.
Where's Missouri at? 7, 6?
Missouri's the 7th seed, and if they would play the winner of LSU Mississippi State, and if they win that game, they play Florida, which they handled Florida very well when they played Florida. So
they do because they can keep up with them and score.
That bottom part of that bracket could be the one that really just hurts some feelings in the SEC. So keep an eye on that, guys.
You're right.
But hey, we had some other games go on. We had another big SEC game here just to close out the season. Tennessee at home playing
Struggled.
South Carolina Gamecocks. This game was close for a little while. Ended up being closer than what you would think. But hey, South Carolina's been that way all year. They've hung close in a lot of these games. They're a lot better than a 12-19 record. I mean, they was on a streak there earlier in the season. I think they lost like 7 straight games by 1 possession.
Yeah.
But Tennessee ended up winning this game 75-65. Lanier scores 23 points to lead Tennessee in this game. South Carolina just never could get it going. They get a couple times there, they get some momentum going, and then Tennessee was able just to stop that momentum and just keep on going. It was tied 34-34 at half. Second half, Tennessee did what they've done most of the season. They made them halftime adjustments. Rick Barnes got into their hind end in there and gave them that old school halftime speech, and they just, I mean, that was your difference. The 10 points that they outscored South Carolina that second half, 41-31, that was your difference in the game. Tennessee, concern is there.
Yes.
Just based off the last few games, but I will say if there's one team in the country that when they are clicking and everything's going, all cylinders are firing. It's a V8 engine, and we're running all 8 cylinders.
The 6.2, baby, until the cylinder head blows up.
Yeah,
Until we switch down to 4-cylinder mode and blows up.
Yeah, they're one of the best teams out there, and they have a coach who's been there, who's knows how to win and come March. Tennessee made it to Final Four last year?
Elite 8.
Elite 8. So they got that momentum. They know how to get there. They want to get more. They want to taste more of that March Madness. So Tennessee, if I'm a Vols fan, am I slightly concerned over the last couple of weeks? Yes, but am I more excited about this team than I am concerned? Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm concerned. I texted you and Matt, and I said I don't see this team making it past the Sweet 16. I think I'm going to stick to that. I think that's about where they're at. They've been super streaky here the past few weeks. You don't know what you're going to get on defense. They still have, I think they're still top 5 in defense. I'm not knocking that. But I'm just saying, we lost to Ole Miss. Shouldn't have lost that game. Granted, it was a very close game. We had an opportunity to tie it there at the end. And who was it? The white center that comes in.
Milicic?
No. The other kid. I like him. He's good. Cannot think of his name. But anyway, he missed the jumper.
Yes.
Might have been Milicic, maybe.
It was Milicic.
It was actually. Sorry, I think the other kid.
He hit the 3.
He hit the 3, to put him within 2 or whatever. And then, because they were down 5.
And you're the Vols fan.
Yeah, it was him. Sorry. It was him. I fell asleep because that game was late. It didn't start till 9.
It was a late game.
So I passed out, and I thought for sure Tennessee would pull away. But
luckily, you'll get that extra hour.
Yeah.
You won't be falling asleep early on these Tennessee games.
Hopefully not. But big thing here, like I was just talking earlier, comes down to your elite player. Chaz Lanier has to shoot like this if Tennessee wants to make a run.
Lanier's not the guy, in my opinion.
I mean, I'm just saying, he's been playing way better in SEC play the last, 12 games.
I agree. I mean, you go back to how he started SEC play to where he's at now.
I get what you're saying. You're going to go – I mean, Zakai.
That's my guy.
He's your leader. I agree. But I'm saying for – you need to have Chaz Lanier score 18 to 20 almost every game in March Madness. If he has a game where he scores 8 or 9, Tennessee's going to lose. It's almost statistically proven.
I'm huge. You know me. I'm huge on experience. Sakai is experience. But I'm just looking at Sakai. He's been there at Tennessee. He's been there when you barely made the tournament. He's been there since who was the one you got from Ohio State?
Akadora, how you say his name?
Yes. I get him and Meshack mixed up sometimes.
Meshack's the one that hit the game winner against.
I just look at Sakai. This is it. This is his final season. No matter what happens, he's done. His Vols career is over, and I just feel like him being the guy, being the point guard, the leader of this team. He's the key to this NCAA tournament run for them. The better he plays, everybody else is going to do good. He's going to get the attention. I get what you're saying. Lanier has to take some of that off of him.
Lanier has to be.
Lanier gives me 15 points. If Lanier gives me 15 and Zakai gives me 20, I don't see Tennessee losing many games.
You need Gainey or somebody to step up too. That's usually been the key to success, especially if they come across a team that can score 100 a game. That's where Tennessee struggles.
Yeah.
Because if their defense starts falling apart, they can't keep up. Offensive struggles have been real. That's what's cost them those 6 losses. But, with that being said, I mean, I do think this Tennessee team's good.
Yeah.
Not doubting my balls. Obviously, I love my balls, but I'm being realistic with myself. I see this about as a Sweet 16 team somewhere in that ballpark. I just don't know if they have that extra gear. We'll see. Fun fact for you, I'm pretty sure you was just talking about Zakai Ziegler and Meshack. I think their career at Tennessee, they've went like 60-5 or something like that. It was a crazy stat. I saw it. Yeah, and when they've played games. It's like 65-5 or 60-5, something like that. But very, very good stats under Rick Barnes. And it was sad, yesterday was senior day. It was sad seeing Zakai Ziegler and Rick Barnes, because Rick Barnes has said Zakai's probably his favorite player he's ever coached.
And he coached KD, guys.
Yeah, he did coach KD, but he said Zakai is probably his favorite player because Zakai came from nothing, man. He wasn't even. I don't even think he was really on the radar. I think he was like a 2-star or 3-star, and he's worked his way up. Yeah. Came off the bench. I mean, yeah, really worked hard to get that starting position.
Before we leave the Tennessee game, I want to shout out two people. I talked to two people yesterday when I went to a birthday party. Donna Maynard, who is Ashley Mays' mom. Okay. She said that she listens to the podcast, so shout out to her. Also, Andrew Mays, big Tennessee fan, avid listener. He listens to every episode. He is disappointed that we're only doing one per week right now because he's doing a lot of traveling, a lot of driving, and he said we're his go-to. So I think what he's doing now is he listens to the episode and then he listens to it again. So I think he's just
double take. I'll take that. 2 listens. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, so shout out to those two for listening. You had some people talk to you yesterday to listen. So, guys, we love hearing you guys that are listening to this. Yes. A lot more people listen to it than we realize.
Always.
That's what Donna says.
Speaking of that, we crossed 1,000 plays like last month. I meant to shout that out on Spotify.
We did. We hit 1,000 plays overall on Spotify.
Might have been like 2 months ago now, but yeah.
It was about 4 weeks. We hit 1,000 overall on Spotify. And then I think right now we're setting at 2,100 altogether off all platforms.
That's really solid, guys.
And that's just the podcast listening. Now, you take in views on YouTube and Facebook, we're well into the 10,000s.
10,000s.
Yeah. So.
That's shout out to our listeners, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keep crushing it, guys. Keep crushing it. Speaking of crushing it, Florida. Florida crushed Ole Miss. This is what I expected out of Tennessee when I saw them play. This is why my concern is still there. Great teams find a way to win, and they did. They finished season 27-4. They beat Ole Miss 90-71. Walter Clayton Jr., I've been so high on him all year. He led them with 23 points, 9 of 17 shooting. Alex Cadone notched his second straight double-double in that game. Florida. Sean Padula led Mississippi 22 points, 7 of 13
Padula's a dang good player, too.
He is good. 21-10. Not really what I expect out of this Ole Miss team. About midway through the season, I was pretty high on Ole Miss, but I think the defensive effort has really where they've struggled. I mean, if you let Florida or Alabama, these schools get their offense and get their rhythm, they're going to drop 90 to 100 on you.
Do you think some of now granted it's light chatter, it ain't heavy. Do you think some of the chatter about the Indiana job and Chris Beard being linked to that has been maybe a little bit of a distraction at Ole Miss?
Very well could be. I mean, that's a great coach. I mean, because Ole Miss really wasn't that great in basketball. Let's just be honest.
Right.
And they finished the season 21-10 under him. First year, right, at Ole Miss, or second?
First or second year,
something like that. But yeah, guys. I mean, pretty solid season. They were ranked most of the year in the top 25, and of course they got into this SEC play, like we've talked about how tough it is. Still a good team. I wouldn't fully count them out because they did just beat Tennessee. So. We'll see what happens.
Ole Miss is one of those things. If they start getting hot and playing good, they can make a run. They have that potential. It's just
Florida is too.
Florida's very dangerous. Florida's very dangerous.
Probably one of the best offensive schemes I've seen. I don't, in basketball, I actually like Walter Clayton because I like watching him. Now, granted, when he's playing Tennessee and he can't miss, I really hate him. But other than that, like I don't mind. I like watching, great basketball players do great things.
Oh, I like that. Good quote.
I
had another big game, and probably this was the game of the day probably until the Auburn-Alabama game just because of the importance of it. But, it's St. John's at Marquette, number 6 St. John's, traveling to number 20 Marquette. This game went to overtime. St. John's ended up pulling it out on a buzzer-beater shot, 86-84. Marquette had this game. They had this game in regulation. They had this game in overtime. They just could not overcome St. John's just pushing it, and St. John's wanted it more. I mean, they wanted just a little
it
bit
stole
more.
the ball. That's what happened.
Yeah.
It got the rebound, and he turned, and
Boom.
St. John's player was there, passed the ball, boom,
Yeah.
full floater, jumper, game over.
Yeah, and I mean, R.J. Luis Jr., he led St. John's with 28 points. He was 10 for 19 from the field, 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Cam Jones, we talked about him a lot this year with Marquette. He had 32 points, 14 for 30 from the field. This is the Marquette team this is the type of basketball when I was high on Marquette. This is what I was talking about with them. Like, we've been really high on St. John's.
I like St. John's.
When they bear down and Marquette does their thing, they are just one of the best teams out there. It's been very inconsistent with Marquette this year. They do have a great coach in God, I almost said Buzz Williams.
Smart.
Shaka Smart. Sorry. Yeah.
Said Marcus Smart. God.
Yeah. I went blank there.
I knew his last name's Smart.
Both these teams are going to be in the tournament. St. John's is probably one of the hottest teams in the country over the last month and a half. Really just snuck up on some people.
They're way up to 6.
This is the first time they've won the outright Big East title since 1988.
Mm-hmm.
This is huge for St. John's. They're a great basketball program. Marquette, they're another team. I don't want to play Marquette in the first round. I don't. If you play them in the first round, they're going to give you everything they got. I also want to shout out Kadari Richmond. He got the first triple-double in this century for St. John's.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. So 100 years they hadn't had triple-double, and Kadari Richmond got that for him.
Was he like the center for Denver? 30, 20,
oh, yeah,
20?
Jokic. Yeah. I don't know. It wasn't that big, but that was wild.
That was crazy. Was that the first ever?
First ever 30, 20,
That's
20.
what I thought it was, yeah.
What do you have? 30
points, 21 rebounds, 20 assists, something like that.
I think it was 24 rebounds and 21 assists.
Okay. Yeah. I knew it was in the 20s, which is
that's ridiculous.
Stupid. I was like, that has to be a first. I've never seen that.
First time ever in NBA history.
Oh, dude. And he just plays so nonchalant.
Oh,
dude.
he don't
even look like a basketball player. He's just big, but he's good.
Yeah, even when they won the NBA title a couple years ago in Denver, he was just like, "Okay, we won.
We won. Next time,
I'm gonna go back home, back to whatever country he's from."
Yeah, he did not care.
Nope. As far as these two teams, what's your outlook on them going into March?
I like what I saw out of Marquette in this game. It told me that they can do it when they need to.
Yeah.
This was a home game for them, so they did have home court advantage. So it says a lot about St. John's going on the road to Marquette and pulling off a very, very tough win. St. John's is legit. I think they will make a run in the tournament. Got a great coach. Patino's there. So, I'd keep an eye on Marquette after watching this. We'll see what happens in the conference games. We'll see where they're at because they do have some tough teams to play there probably if they make a deeper run. So we'll see what they got. But St. John's is the better team out of these two. So I'll look for St. John's to make a little bit deeper run in March.
Gotcha. Had another big game, Big 12 game here. Iowa State played Kansas State. Iowa State didn't win this in 73-57. Kansas State, they had a moment there for about a week.
That's actually a big win. Yeah.
Yep. Where they were playing really good, and then last couple of weeks they've kind of struggled a little bit. But Iowa State's finally, I think they've kind of got over that rough little stretch they were in. They've been playing good basketball. Last about week and a half, they've been playing really good. Curtis Jones, we talked about him all year long. He ended up leading Iowa State with 24 points in this game. It was terrible shooting, 5 for 15, but hey, he made those free throws, 11 for 12. And then David DeGosson for Kansas State had 19 points. He was 8 for 10 from the field. Iowa State, what are you thinking about them? I'm looking at them like as a 3 seed in the tournament.
3 or 4 seed. I say they'll get the 3. We'll see what happens too. I mean, all this dependent on the conference championships, of course, but Iowa State's tough. But I think having them as a 3 is right where they need to be. Again, I'm not too high on Iowa State. I just don't see it. I see them losing a stupid game. I just see it happening. We'll see. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
I see Iowa State as a Sweet 16.
I'm going to say round of 32.
Okay.
This is where Hess and I will argue next Sunday, so make sure y'all tune in because he's been high on Iowa State. I have not.
Yeah. Next one here. This one shocked me, but Penn State has been playing good basketball. Penn State traveled to Wisconsin, and we know how hard it is to play there. Penn State pulls off the upset.
We just circled Wisconsin. Remember that.
We did. Penn State pulls off the upset, 86-75. DeMarco Dunn had 25 points, and Yannick Kahn Hauser added 15 points, 11 rebounds as Penn State rallied in the second half to win this game 86-75.
Was that like German?
It's something like that. Like I said, DeMarco Dunn did lead Penn State with 25 points. John Blackwell led Wisconsin with 19. This Wisconsin team, what's your opinion on them?
Wisconsin, 23-8. This team kind of came out of nowhere. They'll probably finish season about 15th, 16th, was right where they should be. Probably coming into the tourney a 4 or 5 seed, if I had to guess. Yeah. Very tough team. I would not want to play them in the conference. Penn State's been kind of hot here lately. I mean, finished season, they did finish positive 16-15, but Wisconsin shouldn't have lost this game. It's a home game, last game of the season. You need to find a way to win, so that's concerning. But we'll see how they do this coming week. Put the Badgers on watch for a round of 32, Sweet 16, somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay. So it sounds to me like you're higher on Wisconsin than you are Iowa State.
Probably, yeah. I like the Badgers better than the Cyclones. Yeah, not been that high on Iowa State. Watch Iowa State win the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I mean, Curtis Jones has to be the leading guy for Iowa State for them to win. If you notice that, every time Iowa State wins, it's pretty much Curtis Jones is leading scorer.
Yeah.
So he has to be the guy, and I think if you can shut him down, who are you going to? That's my problem with Iowa State.
Okay.
We'll see, though.
I can say the same thing for some other teams.
I mean, very well. Yes, you can. But I might be able to tell you who the other players are.
It's because we don't watch Big 12 basketball.
It's true. I never do.
Name another player in the Big 12 besides
bit.
Curtis Jones.
I'd have to look it up. I'm sure there's some names out there I would think of, but yeah, not that high on that conference.
Hunter Dickinson from Kansas.
Kansas. They fell off the map.
They have.
They got to win. They got to win though.
They did.
I don't know if I put them on here or not.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
We had another big SEC game here. We'll talk about this one.
Sure. Kentucky ends up winning and beating Missouri. Didn't see this one coming. I thought Missouri surely would win this, but this is what Kentucky does with other offensive teams. If teams don't play defense, Kentucky's going to drop 90 to 100 on you, and that's what they did. They dropped 91, finishing the season 21-10. Very streaky Kentucky team. That's kind of funny because they're ranked 19th, and they have the same record as Ole Miss, and we know Ole Miss isn't ranked anymore. And then same for Missouri. They finished season 21-10 as well, and they're ranked 15th. So I don't think those – I don't know. I don't know how you can, justify two teams 21-10, another team 21-10.
It's just
strength of schedule. But it's basketball, so it's
pretty much.
Huh?
SEC pretty much all played the same.
That's what I'm saying. So really, it is what it is. I think it's a little biased, in my opinion, to have Kentucky still ranked, but that is what it is. But
I think it's a lot to do with Kentucky having the potential, because we know what Kentucky can do.
They do have the potential. This guy right here has been one of the best players all year, Otega Owa. He dropped 22 points, 6 of 17 shooting. I don't know how many games he finished with this year, but I know he's had multiple 20-point games.
Mm-hmm. He had a streak there for a while.
Yeah, I mean, probably well over half the season he's had more than 20.
Yeah.
If he does that in the tourney and in March, this team can be very tough. That's where this team, like you said, with Mark Pope, that's where they can be top 25. They got, I like Brea. I think he's a great shooter.
Andrew Carr here. I mean, he had 16 points, 12 rebounds for him.
Yeah.
I mean, they have that's the thing with Kentucky. They spread the scoring.
They have the talent. They do. But I just don't know if they can put it all together. They've been. I mean, we'll talk about them right here. They might lose first game SEC conference. Yeah. That's just how they've been all year. Missouri, kind of on the down past couple weeks.
Yeah.
They hit their stride a little early. Mark Mitchell did drop 22 for them. Very good player. 8 of 14 shooting. So. We'll see. Missouri should have won this game. I mean, they should have found a way to win.
There was just no defense in the second half.
No defense. That's the thing.
That's the thing we've been high on Missouri, though. They played really good defense. In this game, it just fell off in the second half.
I mean, yeah. They did put up 54. They outscored Kentucky in the second half, but they let them score 38 in the first.
Just too much to overcome that halftime deficit.
Yeah. Just too much. But, I don't know. Kentucky's one of those teams if I'm looking at the tourney, if I'm looking at March, Kentucky's a team that I would not take very far right now, just because they're so streaky.
Yeah.
They have not been consistent all year.
I get that. But I mean that's the type of team though too that We're not really thinking. You're not really
and
worried
start
about it.
firing. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
teams are going to
Kentucky lives and dies just like Florida. They live and die on a 3.
Yeah.
So if their threes are on it, you're going to have a tough game against them. But if they start missing threes and shoot like 20-some% or 30%, they're done.
I agree with that. Kentucky, though, I mean, like I said, if people start looking at them the way we just talked about them, they could just jump on some teams and scare people because they can score fast. And if they do, it's really hard to overcome. Next game we had was the Big 12 matchup, had another upset here. Kansas, who was unranked for the first time in 6 years, ended up winning at home on senior night with Hunter Dickinson in his senior night, 83-76 over number 24 Arizona. If I'm playing Kansas, I'm worried a little bit because they're mad, they're disappointed, and if they can start playing, because they got talent, that basketball team is loaded with talent. They got one of the most prestigious coaches, Hall of Fame coach,
Bill Self.
in Self. They've been there. He's won national championships. Kansas, like I said, they ended up winning this game 83-76. Dickerson had career high tied his career high with 33 points. I know Kansas is unranked. I know they've been playing absolutely dumpster fire basketball. It's been bad. But if they get it right and they get clicking, they were a preseason number 3 team in the country, guys. The talent's there. If they get clicking, they could be a team to watch for. They could be a team
Duke too, right?
Yeah, I think they did.
I think they did early in the season.
I think.
Look that up. I know Duke and Kentucky. I think it's Duke, Kentucky, and Kentucky, Kansas, and Auburn.
Kansas beat them 75-72.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's early in the season, but still, I mean, that tells you, talent's there. I mean, it's there.
And Kentucky beat Duke 77-72.
Well, let's just look at this here. I mean, Arizona, they fell off for a little while, came back, and now they're kind of like, because I think they've lost their last 2. Both these teams are finishing the regular season 20-11, so they're still solid.
Yeah.
I think Kansas did hit a bad stride there. I mean, they lost 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So maybe they're out of that slump. We'll see what they do in conference. I'll definitely pay attention to that team. I'll be watching that tourney quite a bit before we do our picks, to see kind of what happens there. But Kansas could be that team, like you said. Everybody's doubting them. Everybody's counting them out. That's the worst time or worst way to go about a team that you got to play in the tourney if they know that they got nothing to lose.
I think right now, I mean, they're going to make the tournament no matter what happens in the Big 12. I think right now they got them as a 6 seed, maybe a 5, potentially.
It's actually not bad. I mean, that's usually a good spot to be.
So, I mean, they're in it. Not a team I want to play first round, I'll tell you that. Last game we're going to talk about here with college basketball, Arkansas
crazy.
With a big upset win here over Mississippi State, 93-92. A lot of close games this weekend. Jonas Adu made one of 2 free throws with Adu.
Used to play at Tennessee.
Yeah, well.
Transfer.
Made one of 2 free throws with 11 seconds left to break the tie game, and number 25 Mississippi State missed a 2-point potential game-winning shot at the rim at the other end to close out Arkansas's 93-92 victory on Saturday.
Good defense there by Arkansas right at the last.
Right now, Arkansas is one of the first 4 teams out. They don't got them in right now.
Right. This was a huge win for them. If they can make a run in the conference, they might make it.
They got it. I think they're a lot like Georgia. They're going to have to make it to that second and third round.
Yep. Absolutely. That will get them in. How do you feel about Coach K's first season, 19-12 regular season?
Well, first of all, it's not Coach K. It's Coach Cal.
Coach Cal. Sorry. Sorry, guys. We're recording a little early today.
I'm not. I've never sold on him.
Coach Cal,
I think Arkansas wasted money here. I think they could have got a better coach.
I disagree. Look what he did with Arkansas. First season. I mean, Pope went 21-10.
Yeah.
He went 19-12.
He did, but I mean, he did bring 5 Kentucky players with him, so he brought
3.
We had 2 that were committed to Kentucky that came, so he brought 3.
He brought 3. He brought 3 players from but still.
But I will never give this man much credit for much of anything.
That's a big win.
He's a great recruiter. I would rather have Thad Lambert coaching my basketball program than Coach Cal.
Shout out
Thad Lambert in Southwest Virginia Community College girls who are playing in I think they won. I think they're in the semifinals of
That's a good coach.
National Championship. of the national tournament. So shout out to them. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Coach Cal. I'm not going to give him much credit on here.
I'm actually a little bit higher on his wagon than Hess.
I'm just waiting for the recruiting violations to come out, and
that is true. I mean, he gets that everywhere he goes. But nowadays, you don't see that with the NIL as much. So
no.
I don't think you'll have it to worry because they'll just run it through the NIL if they need to do something. So
yeah.
DJ Wagner, their best player, 24.7 of 9 shooting, 7 of 7 from free throw. Claudell Harris Jr., 18.6 of 11 for Mississippi State. Just not enough there at the end. Like I said, great defense there by Arkansas to close it out. Arkansas, not a team I want to play in the SEC tourney. I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah.
They've been hot. They've been hot, so I'll say that right now.
You're saying it.
Saying it right now.
Putting it in to existence.
3/9/2025. Saying it right now.
Yep. All right. We got conference tournaments coming up this week.
We do.
Who you got in the SEC?
SEC, of course, I want to take the Vols. My heart says to take the Vols, but I'm not going to go biased. I'm going to go Alabama.
That's where I was going to.
I'm going to go Alabama. I think they got the tangements to do it.
Interesting word. Yeah, I'm going with Alabama there. I think Mark Sears is on a mission. Alabama, like I said, I think they're the second best team in the country.
They're good
right now. Yeah, give me Alabama in that one. ACC, who you got?
Duke. No question about it. That's the best team in ACC.
Louisville.
Really? I'm gonna go Duke.
Duke's gonna make it to the semifinal.
They better not let me down. I'm picking them. So
we'll take Louisville.
Okay, I like that.
Big Ten.
This one's tough. Michigan.
Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Maryland's good. I forgot about Maryland.
Yeah, take a Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland's good.
Big 12.
Trying to think who all is in the Big 12. Texas Tech, maybe?
Think Texas Tech?
Yeah, I like the Red Raiders. That one's tough.
Give me Houston.
Houston, yeah, that was okay. That was my second. Okay.
Yeah, give me Houston or Iowa State, but I want Houston.
Nah, not Iowa State. No. Yeah. Texas Tech. I'm going to go Texas Tech. Red Raiders.
Okay. Big East?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. Creighton.
I like that one. I'm going to go St. John's in this one, but I'm going to say watch out for UConn.
I'm going to say watch out for Creighton. Nobody's talking about them. That conference right there is tough.
All right.
The West Coast tourney. Now, they don't call it the Pac-12.
Oh, yeah, the West Coast. I mean, it's only 2 teams, right?
Yes, they had to include. That's how come they had to do the West Coast, because now you got like Purdue. No, sorry, not Purdue. Oregon State's in that. Gonzaga is the team I'm thinking of in that now, because Gonzaga next year, in case y'all don't know, 2026 is joining the Pac-12 in basketball.
Yeah, well, yeah, West Coast. You got St. Mary's, California, Gonzaga, San Francisco, Santa Clara, Oregon State, Washington State, LMU, Portland, Pepperdine, Pacific, and San Diego. Give me
Gonzaga should be at that.
Yeah, they are. There's St. Mary's,
okay.
Gonzaga.
St. Mary's and Gonzaga.
Either
one of those two. St. Mary's or Gonzaga.
They're on a 7-game win streak. Give me St. Mary's.
I think St. Mary's. I'll go with you on that one. I'll pick the same team on you on one, other than SEC.
We do have 2 teams that have already clinched a spot in the NCAA tournament. That is Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, sorry. They clinched the OVAC conference, the Ohio Valley Conference. They clinched that one. And then Omaha clinched the Summit League bid because the St. Thomas, Minnesota is a Division II school transitioning to Division I. They did finish the season 27-3.
Wow.
And but they're not eligible because they're transitioning. So Omaha automatically gets that bid, even though they still have to play each other in the conference championship. So no matter what happens, Omaha is in. So right now, as of Sunday morning, we have 2 teams that have clinched, and that is Southern Illinois of Edwardsville, which I've never heard of them. It looks like they're the Cougars, and then Omaha has clinched. So we do have 2 tournament teams right now in it.
16
moving on. Yeah.
14, 15.
Yeah, they'll be down there. Yeah, probably Omaha will probably be. Omaha's only lost 9 games this year, though, so they're not bad either. I would say, yeah, probably 15. I'll say 14, 15 seeds for
14.
them. Did have some baseball this week. We'll run through these really quick. Saturday, we had some pretty big games. You had a huge upset starting it off. You had Old Dominion beat Auburn 11-9. Auburn just got ranked. Tennessee beat St. Bonaventure 11-1. I don't think Tennessee's going to lose a game.
They game before this, they had a no-hitter.
Yep.
First one since 2002. Their starting pitcher, I think, had 13 or 14 strikeouts in that game.
Yep, it was a combined no-hitter, correct?
Correct, yes.
Yep.
It was 3 pitchers. Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive what I'm seeing from Tennessee so far.
To me, I mean, I know there's like 6 different baseball rankings out there. Tennessee's number 1 in all but one of them, and it's the one that everybody looks at. So LSU's still 1, but I think Tennessee's your best team in the country.
They look good.
Looking on down, most of your ranked teams did what they had to do. Georgia won 16-6. North Carolina won 11-1 over Stanford.
North Carolina's good.
North Carolina is a good team. Florida beat Harvard 7-0. They called that game in 7. Then they beat them in 7 the following game, 22-6.
They're good too.
Oregon State, San Diego. That's
Close
a pretty good little baseball team there. Ended up winning 2-0 in that one. Boston College and Virginia played a football game. The final score was 22-16. Boston College got down near the red zone at the end of this one and just could not punch it in at the end. Clemson beat Davidson in 7, 14-3.
14-4.
Texas, 14-4, sorry. I looked down at the Santa Clara score. Texas ended up winning 8-3 against Santa Clara. Texas A&M, they have fallen off the face of the earth. They have lost like four games up until this point. They're down to 14th in the country. They end up beating New Mexico 7-1. Close game here in ACC play because Notre Dame decided to be in a conference in baseball. Wake Forest won this game 6-5. Ole Miss dominates Jacksonville State 12-4. Looking on down, we had another upset here. South Carolina Upstate. If you don't know, guys, they're at the upper part of South Carolina.
That's what they call it, Upstate. Oh.
Yep, they won 5-4 over Troy. Southern Miss beat UNC Wilmington.
Close.
UNC Wilmington is a good little program too. 2-1 in this one. Our favorite team, not close to us here, Dallas Baptist, ended up beating Louisiana Raging Cajuns 10-6. Louisiana is a very good team too. Alabama decided they didn't want to be Presbyterians, and they ended up winning 15-1 in their game.
Absolutely killed them.
Scrolling down through here, just a couple more. Wofford, I consider this an upset over Kentucky, 12-5. A lot of people's really high on Kentucky. Ohio
State, yeah,
playing Valparaiso. I didn't even know they had a baseball team up there. They won 15-4 in 8 innings. Kennesaw State, 13-9. West Virginia beat them. That is an upset. BYU Stetson, I would say that's an upset too. Stetson's a pretty good little program too, but it's 5-4, real close game. Yep. ETSU hosted Pittsburgh in Johnson City. Speaking of ETSU, they are leading the country in home runs, guys. They're they're 5 ahead of Tennessee in home runs, and then their first baseman is leading the country in home runs, and he's 1 ahead of some guy from Tennessee. He's got 11, and the guy from Tennessee's got 10. So ETSU, watch out for them. They got some power. Their pitching's been a little up and down, but they did win this game 8-4.
That's a big win
over Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
They got ETSU travels to Georgia this year. They travel to Tennessee. They got some big matchups coming. Looking on down through here, Washington, I think this is an upset here over Nebraska, 11-5. Kansas been playing some really good baseball. That's a team that nobody's really talked about as far. They won 9-5 over Milwaukee. Virginia Tech,
yes,
got a big win here against Georgia Tech, 8-5, and then Duke ended up beating. Yep, they beat Cal 6-2 in this one. We do have some games to look ahead. What are we looking ahead to?
Looking ahead to this week, tomorrow, guys, you have a big game here at 6 p.m. on ACC Extra. You got number Florida. That's weird. Okay, ACC Network because it's at Florida State. Okay.
Yeah.
Florida playing Florida State. Florida State is 15-0. They're still undefeated as well. Very good team. Talked about them early in the season. Florida been very solid too, 15-2. Mm-hmm. Should be a great matchup. Florida's got a tough schedule this week. Next game up on Tuesday, though, you have Wake Forest, number 15, 13-3. Traveling to Coastal Carolina, who is now ranked 24th.
Yep,
should be a tough game too there for Wake Forest. We'll see whose pitching's better. I do think Wake Forest should win that game, and I'm gonna say Florida State barely beats Florida 1-2 run games. So I'm predicting there.
And we are starting to get we're in the conference play in baseball already, guys. We've already went through the non-conference stuff. It's went by fast, so you're going to see a lot more deep dive into baseball from us because it'll be more conference-oriented, easier to keep up with. Friday, you do have some big matchups. You have number 7, Florida, traveling to Lindsey Nelson Stadium in Knoxville.
Tough schedule this week.
The number 7 Florida plays number 2 Tennessee. I would say Tennessee might be number 1 by this time. We'll see what happens. Both these teams have 15 wins. Florida has 2 losses, though. Another big game. This game is at 6:30 on SEC Network Plus. And then you got 2 more big games down here. You got Alabama traveling to A&M. Alabama undefeated. A&M 9-5. I mean, they just been. I don't know what's happened down there right now. Maybe they'll get it together. If I'm A&M, I'm concerned going into SEC play with the losses they've had, but they have played some pretty good teams here and there. They have had some terrible losses as well.
Lost some terrible games. Yeah.
Yeah. Alabama doing what Alabama does.
16.
They find a way to be ranked in everything that they physically do. And then another big SEC matchup here. You have Vanderbilt traveling to number 22 Auburn. This game is also at 7 o'clock on SEC Network Plus. And these
a lot of good games Friday.
Yeah,
a lot of good games Friday.
Yeah, we're getting into the weekend series. So these games will be series-oriented. They will be 3 games apiece starting Friday. So be interested to see how those play out. We're wrapping up this episode. We're an hour into it. Got some closing thoughts here. Arnold Palmer, round 4. What are you thinking? Who you got? What's your
pull me up the leaderboard. I'm pretty sure Morikawa got the lead yesterday.
Morikawa is in the lead.
Yeah.
He is up 1 stroke on Russell Henley, and 2 strokes up on Connors, and 3 strokes up on Jason Day, and then Michael Kim is 5 under, tied with 5th, and then you got Tony Finau in the hunt, Novak in the hunt, who shot a 64 yesterday.
Shoo. Pretty good.
And then looking down the overall leader, who's led pretty much this entire tournament, had a really bad day yesterday. Shane Lowry's down to 4 under at 7.
Yeah,
and then
Shane Lowry.
Just looking at 2 more I want to mention here. Or I'll mention 3 more because big names here. Roy McIlroy is 3 under.
Or Scheffler.
Scheffler is 2 under behind him.
Justin Thomas.
And then William Clark is 2 under.
Ooh,
JT
Clark had a bad day yesterday. Then.
Yeah. Justin Thomas fell off the complete map yesterday. I think
17th.
he's over now.
No. He's 1 under. 1 or 2 under. Should be 17.
He is 1 under 7, tied for 17.
Okay. Too far out.
Yep.
I'm going to go top 3 there. Jason Day, he knows how to win, so he can put together a good round 4. He hasn't won a major in a minute, so.
Yeah. And Jason Day, speaking of him, he did go back to his original coach and caddy that he had back when he was winning majors.
Not digging the baggy pants, though. I'm going to say that. I'm not digging that style.
That's Jason Day's style. It's always been
I know, but I don't. I'm not digging the baggy pants.
He's a big guy with a big butt. He
needs the joggers.
Nope, can't wear joggers. He's got a big butt.
He needs the joggers. But I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Jason Day finds a way to win this.
Well, if you're going with the guys in joggers, the only one in the top 10 that wears joggers is Tony Finau.
Yeah, I like Finau a lot.
But give me Morikawa. Morikawa has been so consistent on the greens. He's been he's due.
He had a good day yesterday.
He had a very good day yesterday. Last year he was the only player ranked in the top 5 in the FedEx Cup standings that did not win a major. He is due. Morikawa, give him the Arnold Palmer.
Jason Day's due too, man.
Jason Day's due, but I just think Morikawa his putting's on. He's one of the best putters in the tour. Give me Morikawa in this one. I think he finishes it off.
Solid. So Morikawa or Jason Day is what y'all heard here. We'll see what happens today.
Got a big race in Phoenix today. This will be Sunday. I think this is at 4:30. Green flag stops. Coverage starts at 4 o'clock on FS1 maybe. They are doing option tires here. They're going to do it at short tracks. You have yellow letter tires, red letter tires. They only have 2 sets of reds. And the thing that's different here, the yellow is your traditional tire. The drivers hate them because they don't wear and they don't have much grip. But the red tires wear off in like 10, 15 laps, but you're looking at another second differential in speed, a lot more grip, a lot faster, but you only have 2 sets. So I look for those to be played near the end in stage 3. Going to be interesting. The drivers are wanting that to be the main tire on all short tracks because it wears out. They got quick grip, but then the tire fall off. Once it falls off, you'll lose that.
Didn't mean to hit that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that tire update there.
Yeah.
My elbow hit the inner bar.
Yeah, once the tires wear off, you're looking at a 3 to 4 second fall off in your track time speed. Like, it's terrible wear, but it's incredible speed. So it's a risk reward just how they play them. On the pole for that one, you do have William Byron.
Hey, boy.
Joey Logano starting second. He's been dominant at Phoenix. Carson Hocevar, who's been in the headlines for everything. Young driver starting third. And this one, it's hard to go against Penske when they're at Phoenix because they've been so good this year, or been so good at Phoenix. They know this is where the championship final is. So when they play at final, they race that final race. This is where they go to clinch that champion.
4 in a row, 3 in a row.
It's
a lot.
Blaney, Logano. It was Larson, Blaney, Logano. So they've won the last two. Penske.
Last two. Okay.
You know what? Eric Jones is starting fourth in this one. Give me Eric Jones to pull off kind of an upset today in that 43 car with Jimmy Johnson. I'd like to see that Petty 43 get back in there, but my second pick will probably be Joey Logano.
Ooh, how can you say that?
He's good there.
Never say Joey Logano. Never pick Logano. I'm going to go Chase Elliott. He's had a rough start to the season again.
He's starting 5th or 6th.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chase Elliott in this one. Of course, I'm going to be cheering for Byron. I told y'all he's my guy because he drives a 24. But I'm all about Hendricks. And, give me Chase Elliott. I think he's due.
I like it. I like that pick a lot. Guys, this will be our only episode again, Andrew. We are sorry that we're not giving enough content to appease you in your traveling duties, but this is our last episode. One more thing before we do leave. I think we're in agreement. I could be wrong. We may need to talk about it a little bit. We need to talk about it a little bit more, but very high probability we will be at the UNC home opener on Labor Day. Bill Belichick's home debut with North Carolina against TCU. It's a Monday night game on Labor Day. Everything's pointing toward us being there. Me and you still need to talk about some things to see, make sure we can do it. But right now, guys, we are. It looks like we'll be going to UNC, going to Chapel Hill for the first time. TTS.
Shout out to Brian Long.
Yeah, shout out to Brian Long for making this possible for us. Looking forward to it. So that's 2 confirmed games this year, guys, we will be going to this fall. UNC, TCU, and App State and Oregon State. So we'll be in North Carolina at least twice.
Crazy.
Yep. But you guys have a great week. Enjoy it. Lots of warm weather coming to the south. Enjoy it while it lasts because it's going to get really rainy in the weekend. Everybody be good, be safe, be careful. That's all I got. You got anything?
Take care, guys. Thank you.
See y'all.